Could you imagine being a billionaire at 26? What about 22? There are billionaires out there today who have made fortunes before hitting the age of 30. And today we'll be diving into what made them so wealthy and how old they actually are. You won't believe the age of the youngest billionaire in the world, so stay to the end to find out. Welcome to Luxury Land, where we're not getting any younger, so please hit that subscribe button to help us get to 500 subscribers as quick as possible. This will help us continue to inspire you so that maybe you can become a billionaire yourself. Number 10. GUSTAV MIGNAR WITZOE, 29 years old, $4.4 billion. This first billionaire on this list is 29-year-old GUSTAV MIGNAR WITZOE, who owns nearly half of Salma ASA. You may not have heard of it, but the company is one of the world's largest producers of raw salmon. GUSTAV inherited half of the company in 2013 from his father, making him worth $3.2 billion. In 3 years, he gained a couple more billion on his own by investing in real estate and tech startups. Founded in 1991, Salma ASA led the industrialization of fish farming in Norway and has just been printing money ever since. GUSTAV's father still runs the company. In the meantime, in addition to increasing his fortune, GUSTAV has been doing side quests like professional modeling and has been signed by some of the top modeling agencies in Norway. Number 9. Gary Wang, 29 years old, $5.9 billion. Gary Wang may not be the youngest, but he is the wealthiest person on this list. Crypto is the industry that can make you a billionaire overnight, and Gary Wang has taken full advantage, but not in the way you may think. Wang is the co-founder and chief technology officer of the cryptocurrency exchange FTX, which is only one of the top exchanges for buying and selling crypto, and has a company valuation of $32 billion. Wang founded FTX with Sam Bankman-Fried in 2019 after working at Google building algorithms. Way to boss up, Gary. Number 8. Ryan BRESLOW, 28 years old, $2 billion. Ryan BRESLOW is the founder of payment startup Bolt. He started the company in 2014 after dropping out of Stanford. He is no longer CEO, however, as he has now taken on the position of executive chairman. The company has an $11 billion valuation due to its promise to provide millions of online shops with an Amazon-style checkout. Investors' hopes for the future has made Ryan BRESLOW one wealthy young man with $2 billion to his name before the age of 30. Number 7. PEDRO FRANCESCHI, 27 years old, $1.5 billion. Pedro Franceschi is the co-CEO of Brex, the fintech startup that is attempting to replace corporate credit cards. Pedro met his partner Henrique while arguing on Twitter 10 years ago while they were in high school in Brazil. Eventually, they started Pagar.me, a payment firm in 2013 which targeted Brazilian small businesses, and then they sold it in 2015. Born in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, Pedro also attended 1 year of Stanford University, then dropped out to start Brex in 2017. After collecting money from investors, the company is now worth $12.3 billion. Number 6. HENRIQUE DUBUGRAS, 27 years old, $1.5 billion. HENRIQUE DUBUGRAS is 27 years old and is the other co-CEO of Brex. Born in Sao Paulo, DUBUGRAS also attended Stanford and then dropped out after a year. I'm starting to see a trend here to start Brex with his partner Pedro Franceschi in 2017. Investments made in his company have now made him and his partner two of the youngest billionaires in the world. The sky's the limit for these two, as Elon started off his fortune with the payment firm as well. Number 5. Austin Russell, 27 years old, $2.4 billion. The main takeaway from this video is, go to Stanford and then drop out. That's the road to $1 billion, baby. Our next billionaire, Austin Russell, too dropped out of Stanford University and became a billionaire. He is now the founder and CEO of the bright-futured LEHMANN company that is involved in the development of autonomous cars. Some people call him the Musk 2.0 because of his brilliance in tech. Russell owns 1/3 of LEHMANN, which has a net worth of $5.1 billion already. Companies like Toyota and Volvo depend on LEHMANN to provide self-driving cars, so get ready to be hearing Austin Russell's name a lot in the future. Number 4. Katarina Anderson, 26 years old, $1.3 billion. Daughter of industrialist Johan H. Anderson, her father retired and left 1/3 of his investment holding to his daughters. This holding contains 7,000 square meters of real estate properties and an investment portfolio in Norwegian companies. Now, Katarina owns 42.4% of one of the biggest companies in Norway, but still lives a somewhat modest life. Once she inherited the money, Katarina still chose to live in her cottage dorm room. I mean, she still likes to look good though, and is a big fan of designer purses, accessories, and shoes. In 2017, however, Katarina was caught drunk driving and got her license suspended for 13 months and spent 18 days in jail. In addition, she paid a $30,000 fine. What a great example to set for your younger sister. Number 3. Alexandra Anderson, 25 years old, $1.4 billion. The goody two-shoes and younger sister of Katarina Anderson, Alexandra Anderson is an award-winning horse rider, drives a used car, and doesn't take her money for granted. And that's all. Number 2. Wang ZELONG, 25 years old, $1.5 billion. Wang ZELONG inherited a titanium dioxide company which was worth $1.3 billion. The company, which I will not try to pronounce, is one of the biggest providers of titanium dioxide in the world. Titanium dioxide produces pigments for coating plastic, ink, and other materials. Even though Wang lives in a communist country, he lives in a very luxurious, non-communist-y home. As a result, you won't see any pictures of it anytime soon. Number 1. Kevin David Lehman, 19 years old, $3.3 billion. The youngest billionaire in the world is Kevin David Lehman at just 19 years old. Do you remember where you were at 19? Imagine being a billionaire. Kevin inherited half of his father's drugstore empire at 18, which gave him $2.5 billion and made him head of the international drugstore chain named DM. DM has over 3,700 stores in 13 countries and employs 60,000 people. The company is worth $12 billion. None of this important status stops him from being the young man he is and doing simple things like playing soccer with his friends. Never let the money change you, Kev. These are the youngest billionaires in the world. Billionaires are getting younger and younger these days. I won't be surprised to see a self-made billionaire wearing diapers one day. How young do you think this list can possibly get? Let me know in the comments below. Click a video on the screen to watch something you haven't seen. And thanks for visiting Luxury Land.